A trip back to how it all started. I'm the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. Tonight, the memory of the late Bart Starr will radiate through tonight's proceedings. It's a rematch of the very first Super Bowl ever played between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Wisconsin. Standing by, our Sunday night team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes now in his third season in the league, leading the Chiefs onto the field. And, boy, when the Chiefs traded starting quarterback Alex Smith before 2018, a lot of people were wondering how good Patrick Mahomes could be, and he showed the entire league how good he could be, racking up over 5,000 yards and tied for second most passing touchdowns in a season with 50 of them. And he was handed the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Mahomes. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction, because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Number 12 in green and gold coming out to lead the Packers. Of course, that's Aaron Rodgers. Last year for Rodgers, despite the young receiving core, despite the nagging injuries, despite the removal of his head coach, better than 4,400 passing yards, the 2nd highest total in his 14 NFL seasons. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. A run with Josh Adams, the Eagles' leading rusher as a rookie last year. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Over. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Switch. Dip. Here we go.
They run on 2nd down with Adams. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Adams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 19 carries, 73 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Mahomes now on 1st down. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. And again, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6. Mahomes. He finds McCoy. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Za'Darius Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, it floated on him, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Come on.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return, then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
25 yards that time. Mahomes now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Kenny Clark gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now Mahomes. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. To throw is Rodgers. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Once more, Adams on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Darren Lee there to get him down. Throwing on second down. Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Adams. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run with a big man. This is Adams. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes, complete. The tight end, Kelsey. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Well, we want to remind you that coming up tomorrow night on Monday Night Football, we have a couple of throwback heavyweights of the AFC from the 1970s, the Dolphins and the Steelers from Heinz Field. Kickoff at 8:15 Eastern Time. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end.
After reviewing the play, the running on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back. And start over.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he'll lose yardage here back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Kirk Cousins, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, on Monday Night Football, 2 of the super teams of the 1970s back at it. Dolphins and Steelers from Heinz Field to wrap up Week 8. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Adams. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. So a stop here defensively to start this 3rd quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Looking downfield for Kick. And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain there of 30 big ones. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
At the 23.
Single. 25, check 25.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one good for 24 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Being chased out left. Room to run inside the 40. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game, I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's first and goal. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Offside defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll... decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a 1st and goal.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 11th touchdown of the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he he's got it as the lead is now 10-6.
Makes the score Packers 10.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He gets it to Matthews, complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it with McCoy. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
The end result, 21 yards. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Mahomes firing complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that...
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Rashawn Gary coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Butker's kick here is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, but he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. It's Adams, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run again with Adams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be third down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Adams. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On third down, they go with Adams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
It's a loss of one. Brings up second and goal at the Chiefs' 5-yard line.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Green Bay, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.